We often hear people complain that smartphones are boring, and while Apple makes incremental outside changes to the iPhone, there's actually quite a bit of innovation in the Android space. Unihertz is known for making affordable, interesting phones that appeal to several thousand people as seen by their Kickstarter success. But I'm having a hard time embracing the light with this newest model. If you look at my writing on ZDNet, I've covered Unihertz phones for 5 years. I think since 2018 was the first one. I believe it was the Atom, very small phone. It was the successor to the Jelly phone. And Unihertz has always traditionally launched on Kickstarter, and they've shown great success. Several $100,000 of backers that have purchased their phones. Their phones typically range from the $200 up to, I believe the most expensive may have been $400 or $450. So they're very much in the affordable market space for Android. And they usually come up with some unique phones, kind of, right? So if you look in my written Substack article, you'll see that some of the Unihertz phones are very similar to what we've seen in BlackBerry, for example. Several BlackBerry brand phones in the past, and Unihertz takes a very similar form factor, often makes it chunkier, adds some other features and things like that. So for the past few weeks, I've been looking at the Unihertz Luna. Now, the distinguishing factor for the Luna is, as I'll show in a few minutes, is the LED backlighting, LED panel lights on the back. Now, you may be saying, didn't we see that from somebody before? There's nothing here to see. You know what I'm talking about. So the focus for this phone is definitely on the backlighting. Here it is in the white model. And when you first look at it, it very much, when you pull it out of the box, it looks a lot like an iPhone, right? I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. It has a very similar form as far as flat edges, rounded corners, and even the stovetop rear triple cameras. So when you first look at it, you're like, oh, this looks like an iPhone clone or an iPhone knockoff. But it's an Android phone, and it is quite a bit thicker, right? It's 10.4 millimeters versus an iPhone 14 Pro Max is about 3 millimeters less thinner than this phone. So it's a chunky phone, right? Most Unihertz phones are chunky phones. Now, as I said, the focus is on the back. There's 5 lights. I'll go ahead and unlock the phone and turn on the lights for you to see. So there, if you can see in this video, there are the lights. So there's 5 lights. There's different curves. There's one that's around the whole back panel. Different lighting schemes. I show it in pictures too. It's probably a little bit clearer in the pictures than it is on the video here. But there's different lighting schemes, and you can control it with a widget. You can control it with very good settings actually that let you control the LED lights for incoming calls, notifications, music playback, and other things like that. So there's plenty of options of what the lights do and the patterns that they have. It's really a gimmick, but it is something that's unique on the phone, and some people may be happy with that. Now, other than the lighting, and if you don't need the LED lighting, there's not a whole lot of reason to buy this phone. It is available for $299, which is very affordable. However, you got to keep in mind there's a couple things. No 5G is on this phone. This is a 4G phone with different carrier support, right? I tried a Verizon SIM. Well, it's a US mobile SIM that runs on Verizon. I tried that out. It didn't connect. The T-Mobile SIM works perfectly fine, 4G, LTE, all of that. So you can get some connectivity, but there is some limitations. The cameras, they say 108 megapixel, but they're just average performance, nothing spectacular there. It does have some old school things, such as a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, an IR port on the top so you can remote control some things, and then a USB-C is used to charge up the phone with 5,000 milliampere battery inside. One thing you have to know with any Unihertz phone is you buy it as the features that are in there. So this one comes with Android 12. I think it has the December 2022 Android security update. I went and pulled a bunch of my other Unihertz phones. You're probably not going to see any Android major updates, and maybe not even any Android security updates. So that's one area of Unihertz. When you buy these phones, yes, they are affordable. However, you're buying it as it is, right? So the only reason to buy this over something like a Google Pixel A series or even a Samsung mid-ranger that's quite affordable for that $300 to $400 price is for the LED lighting on the back. To me, it's fun to kind of show off a little bit, but it's a kind of a gimmicky thing because the LED lighting on the back, I rarely look at the back of my phones. I'm always looking at the front. It would only be if I placed it down and I needed to see a lit up notification. But with things like the iPhone, you can actually have the accessibility settings and have the flash light up if something comes in. So that's a quick look at the Unihertz Luna. It's interesting. They'll probably sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of these phones, as Unihertz always does. I'm getting a bit tired of the lack of software support and would like to see a little bit of effort in maybe at least the security updates for Android. But that's the Unihertz Luna. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later.